Hi, I'm Jocelyn. Welcome to Fast Easy Vegan. So today we're doing something exciting. Mushroom stroganoff. It's in your Fast Easy Vegan book if you have one, page 326. If you don't have one, it doesn't matter. You can still do this recipe. I'll be sure to give you all the ingredients. So mushroom stroganoff, you're not going to believe how simple this is and how crazy delicious it is. Well, you'll believe that part. But we're going to do the sauce first, which consists of 1.5 cups of plant milk. This is almond. I like almond because it's only 30 calories a cup and because it's got a very neutral flavor. And then we're going to put the juice of 1/2 lemon in because that will curdle the milk and that will help to thicken it. In addition, we're going to have 1/4 cup. We're going to add 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast. So many vitamins in there. And 2 tablespoons of flour. Now, if you're gluten-free, use some kind of other flour of your choice. This is all thickening. All right, and we want to whisk that together and it can just sit. Now I'm going to turn the fire on and we're going to saute our mushrooms and onions. Okay, so that's our sauce. Now the pasta that I chose to use with this is gili. Called gili, also called campanelle. Gili means, I think it means lily. Campanelle means little bells. I love this pasta. It's like, they look kind of like little trumpets until they're cooked. And then they kind of unfurl a little bit and they look like bits of lasagna. Little lasagna pieces. So yeah, mushroom stroganoff doesn't have to be big noodles. It can be any kind you want because it's really about the mushrooms and the gravy. So let's get our onions going. Can you hear that little bit of sizzle? The pan's hot enough. We're gonna save those garlic bits for a minute until that gets done. Now, in there, we're also going to add 1 pound of mushrooms. So this is 1 onion minced up, cooking in the pan. It's 3 cloves of garlic minced, and about 1 pound of mushrooms. Wow, these are fresh. I'm lucky. I usually can't get mushrooms this fresh in my town. All right, let's get those rolling. As usual, I'm dropping things on the floor, and that's okay. Okay, I'm going to add a couple bits of salt there. Maybe now I'll add the garlic. And the special guest of this recipe is I happen to have, it's absolutely not required, it's optional. I happen to have some dried wild mushrooms in the cupboard, so I used a handful of that. I reconstituted them, and I will, ooh, dirty mushroom. And I will use the water for moistening if I need it. But as I'm sure you know, mushrooms put out a lot of water. I mean, huge amounts of water. So we're hoping that will take care of it. But either way, it can still use the mushroom water. Now what these mild mushrooms, they're mild, but they're also wild. And what they're going to do is give you, it's going to take the flavor over the top. They're earthy, they're kind of smoky, they're pretty intense flavor-wise. But wow, is it good. And we're only using a handful or a cupful or something like that. I'm going to put a couple drops of water in there. It likes that. And I'm going to put a pot of water on now for our pasta, our campanelli, our gili. I'm going to put some more water in here, mushroom water. Why are we looking at me? It's not interesting. Okay, there we go. That's what we want to look at. Okay. And you see our big bowl of shrooms waiting to go in. But I want to cook these down a little first. At least get this to a point where I want to put those in. And while this is cooking, you'll excuse me for a moment while I fill up a pan with water for the pasta and put that on. Oh, these are coming along nicely, these mushrooms. Very nicely indeed. Okay, I'm going to put some of my wild mushrooms in there now. Oh, look at these mushrooms. They're putting out some water now. And I'm going to put a pot of pasta water on. And let that get hot while we're cooking this. Very simple dinner. And I made a really gorgeous salad full of like texture and flavor. I'm so lucky. I live near this farm stand where they have different specials every week. Like one week I got this huge flat, like 20 pounds of tomatoes for $5. And this last week, it's end of the summer, and they had organic heirloom tomatoes, like all different colors, for $1.50 a pound. Oh, so exciting. So yeah, our salads are pretty delicious these days. Okay. We're just going to let that simmer a bit and let that mushroom water absorb back in and evaporate, cook down a little. And then I'm going to come get you. We'll, at the end, when we're putting all our pieces together, I'll come get you once the pasta's ready and drained. Then we'll finish up, okay? I'll see you then. Hi, so our pasta's cooked and our mushrooms are pretty much dry. So this took about 15 minutes because I ended up actually dumping in all that gorgeous, rich mushroom water. And now I'm going to pour in the sauce that we made. And it will be thick and umami-like. Now obviously, this pan is not going to hold a whole pound of pasta. Ooh, it's looking mushroomy here. Now remember, we put in those 2 tablespoons of flour, and it takes about 2 minutes for that flour to thicken and make a nice rich gravy the way it is. And what lends also to the thickening is the nutritional yeast. And of course the lemon in the milk helped to thicken that a little bit. So all right, this is mushrooms in a deliciously heavenly sauce. Looking for pasta. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to move this over here. We're going to bring back that pasta pot that we drained. Pour that drained pasta. Do you see? It's like little, I guess you can't see. See how cute it is? I just love this stuff. Gili or campanelle. And the thing about making pasta is, an Italian friend once told me, don't ever rinse your pasta. It takes all that starch off and it's not as creamy anymore. So you want the starch left on. Ooh, all right. Now we're getting serious. Look at that. Rich, creamy, and yummy. Mix it up and serve it up. Now, if you thought that that sauce looked like it was going to be too much for a pound of mushrooms, I have to say you were wrong. It looks pretty perfect to me. Ooh, my. Oh, and the smells are so good. Okay, let's dish up. Doesn't that just look delicious? And as I said earlier, with a juicy, crunchy, beautiful green salad with all kinds of good stuff in it, you got yourself a nice dinner. So grab a fork and come join us. Sorry about the dishing up. I didn't realize you weren't seeing it. Anyway, this is our dinner. Isn't that nice? So bon appetit, enjoy it, you guys. It's so worth the effort, which is very little. See you next time.